welcome back to the channel, and we're going to be continuing with the rock work as we mentioned at the end of the last episode. So I've just put these plates here just to give an idea of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to build some steps in around this section so it goes up in elevation. The rock face will be built up here, so the step's just going to wind around a little bit, so we're going to get that bit done. We need to pack out behind there, level that all up so it's ready for the platform to go on the top, and we need to start building this bit up. We started on the steps, so first of all what we've done is we've put a platform across here, and this is all supported just purely by pillars, filler brick. It's very sturdy, so it says you can put quite a lot of weight on there and it's not going to sort of like collapse. Then again, the same with the steps, we've put brickwork or plates underneath it, as you can see there, so it doesn't give way when you put any pressure on those parts. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue that all the way up here, and then once we've done that, we're going to put tiles and like cheese slopes and all bits and pieces all the way over this to give it a more rugged look, so to speak, rather than just the studs on there. And then what we'll do, we'll build some rock work around here and all the way around the edges, so it looks like it's all part of the rocks. So that's where we're at. And then what we're going to do here, the steps going to lead down, there's going to be a ladder coming down to here to sort of like a mini pier, and then we'll just have sort of like a boat of some description down the bottom. But it's probably just going to be like his jet ski. It's just a little touch from the Batman Lego movie. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment, and I'll check in once we've done a bit more progress. We've built the side of the rock face up along that part, so we can now see into where the waterfall is going to be falling at the back. And as mentioned previously, there will be a bridge going across there, and we've also built the steps that go up around up to there, and eventually that will get to the Batwing. Now with this rock section here, we've got to carry on building it along, but we're going to bring it back out towards the front of the cave, and then we're going to carry on with the rock work all the way around this section. So that's the next part to go. We start doing some of the finer details like in this section here, so it's yeah, coming on nicely. So we've started prototyping the Batwing and got very limited pieces available at the moment, or finding them out should I say. And to give you an idea, the pieces that we have at the moment are in a complete mess. So we have plenty of black pieces, but it's not sorted, organised in any shape or form. So I have tried picking out the wedges and some plates and bits and pieces like that, just to get an idea of how we're going to be making this Batwing look. Now with the Batwing, we're trying to get it so that when it's sort of in flight mode, if it was sort of like in front of the moon, the silhouette would be there of the bat. So hence we're going to use the curved bricks and the plates. But the reason for doing what we've done so far is just purely to get an idea of size, and it's looking, I reckon that we're going to be talking 24 studs in length by around about 18 to 20 studs in width. So it's quite a nice size, it's not too big. It looks good when you sort of put a minifigure next to it. To give you an idea, just grab the first one I come to. So there's a figure. So it is quite a good size really. But yeah, we'll carry on with this. What we can do now is we can work out the platform size and carry on with the rock work rather than spending our time hunting for the pieces on here. What I'm going to do is design the Batwing on Studio, then get the parts list, source the parts out from our collection and order what we need to, build it up and then stick it in the cave. So all of a sudden the Batcave is starting to look small. As we mentioned before, these were the steps that we built up, and it was only after I did it that I thought, we might have come too far over with the steps because of the platform, and I think I'm right on there. So it is going to be a case of now working out how we go, because you've got a very little gap around the back of that side. The other side's not too bad, probably got about six to 8 studs spare there, so that's not so bad, but it is going to be very crowded for getting in there. Luckily with the shape of the Batwing, it could go in there at a 45-degree angle. So to give an idea, this is about the size of the Batwing. Now obviously it's not going to look that big because it's going to have curvature and all the angles on there, but as you can see it is quite big, the space that it is taking up on there. So Again, I think this is going to be a case of I'm going to build the rock work, do it, make that as big an area as possible at the back there, and then we're going to have to customise the Batwing to make it fit the landing pad, as opposed to making the landing pad big enough for the Batwing. I think it's more important to get the rock work and everything else looking good. There's going to be lots of options with the Batwings. I did say at one stage about putting a dinosaur coming out of there, like a trophy sort of thing, but I don't think I'm going to bother doing that. The rock work is coming on nicely. We've got this part here really sturdy, so that's all ready for the platform. I'm not sure whether to put rock work at the back there or masonry bricks. I was going to be putting some masonry brick around on this side, around the terminal and everything like that, so I might just do the rock work on that side. Another thing that I'm wondering about doing is, originally this rock work was going to go up and then there was going to be an archway which led out into the city, and that was the route that the Batmobile would take. Now the only thing is, it's going to be quite high up, the ramp's going to be quite steep, so I am wondering whether it's going to be better to sort of like do a tunnel here and then put a black bit on at the back there so you can't actually see all the way through, and see how that looks. And it's just because of using your imagination, that's where the Batmobile goes, and it'll pop up somewhere further down the city. Once we've got a bit more of this built along here, we'll then connect the two together there, and then we'll be ready for the waterfall, and we can do the bridge going over from one side to the other. So again, that's something I'm really looking forward to doing, because I think once those two are connected, it's going to be really starting to come together and look good. Another thing it'd be nice to get done is some more of the black plate down with the trans blue tiles. I think as soon as we put a few more of those down, it's going to look good. The pathway here, pleased with how that's come along. I might change this last little bit here to go that way, and that's purely so I can gain a bit more room over here on the landing platform. So I think at the moment it might possibly be a few studs too short. Now, to give you an idea of the sort of like size that we're talking about at the moment, here we've got Anakin's Starfighter, and if we rest that in there, as you can see, it does take up a fair bit of that rock. So we would need to make something smaller than this, and this is not, as a lot of people will know, is not a massive spaceship. It is quite tall, so that will make a big difference in there. But yeah, we're just carry on building. I'm going to carry on the support bit at the back, build that all along, build the rock work along there, and then we'll just see what's available. And if we do need to change those steps, we can do so. That's no problem at all there. So I thought I would just show you the back of the Batcave and the support structures. So inside here you can see a whole load of beams, plates, bricks are going in both directions, and they're there just purely to support all of the plates above. So you put plenty of weight on here and it's not going anywhere, which is really good. So when I'm building up further and further and further, we know that it's not going to collapse on us. I'm sure I could have saved a lot of bricks if I had the same size plate all the way over, but I'm just making do with what I've got. So for example, this plate here is 6 by 14 I think, and the next one I'm using is an 8 by 16. So obviously you have to keep moving the pillars where they're supporting, which is why we've got two next to each other, just a couple of studs apart. But yeah, it's, I think once we're using up all of the bricks that we have on hand for doing this mock of the Batcave, but when it comes to sort of like doing the next structure, whether it be a mountain or anything else which is going to require a large bit like this, we'll make sure that we get in the same size plates. They may be a little bit more expensive, but I think I might end up then saving a lot on the filler brick, for example, so you would need less of it. But yeah, it's been really good just experimenting with this, and as I said, I've gone in both directions on here so that it doesn't sort of like give way one way or another when you put pressure on it. So the next thing to do is just carry on building this all up so that we got the total. This will be all grey, and then we'll be ready to go with building the rock up around the side there and the back along here. The steps are going to be coming up and up along here. The base for the platform is now completed, so this is all really strong. You can put a lot of weight on there and it's not going to budge at all. So it won't be collapsing when we're building the rock and anything else up on top of it. And it will also be able to take the weight of the Wayne Manor on the top as well. So the steps, as we had before, they come all the way around. They now go up and then back round, and this is going to lead to the archway which will go over to the other side of the cave. So all we need to do now is build the rock work up along the back there, along this edge, so it's all joined together, and then also do a little bit around here and there as well. And then once we've done that, we can start deciding what we're going to do about a platform to go on here for the Batwing to go on top of it. Then again, we need to just build up across the top of that part as well. So here's the final update for this episode. Pleased with the progress that we've made. So we've managed to get the steps going all the way up here, all the way along, and then we've started the bridge going across. So this bit's all been built up along the back there. We've done that, and we've also finished putting the plates down there. And it's all very sturdy, so I'm not worried about putting pressure on there. It's not going to collapse basically. So we're looking good on that side of things. What we're going to do sort of hopefully next is start working our way across. As I said before, it'd be nice to join these two up, and it's amazing that I think this was the first section we started on, and it's now, if I step back, as you can see, it's sort of like it's just a hollow part at the moment, whereas this side is all completely filled in. So yeah, it's looking from a distance, I think it's looking really good. We're looking at putting some lights in. That's going to be one of the next things that I've got to take into consideration where we're going to put them. I'm not actually going to connect them at this time or purchase them or anything like that. I need to do a bit of research into that. As you know, I'm new to mock building, so obviously I'm new to lights. Never used them before, so it's going to be interesting to see that. What I will do is I will put some like headlight bricks and then put some trans red or whatever colour we're going to go for in the rock work, and that'll then sort of be ready for the lights to be put in, so we can get full access round the back of it, so we can just pull the whole thing out and yeah, away we go. So we also need to design the landing platform, so we're going to go for the snot technique on that, I think, to get a little bit more detail on there. And it'd be nice to get some more colours in there, even if it's light grey, so I like blue grey, as opposed to the dark blue grey, which is all you can see at the moment with the exception of the water. So yeah, that's the end of this update. Hope you've enjoyed it. As mentioned before, if you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the like button, that'd be much appreciated, and share it with your friends. And hit the notification bell so you can see the future updates on this Batcave and our custom city. Thanks again for coming along. See you next time. Bye for now.